Hi, Meg.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Manifesting with Meg, Conversations with Extraordinary People. Tonight we have episode 43, Build Another Kind, a team, better team, actually. And I am so lucky to introduce all of you to two of Thrive Girl Thrive authors. Tonight we have Dr. Tiffany Taft and we have Makeeta House. So before we go, I'd like to, welcome you guys to the show. My intention for all of this is to offer a opportunity to have a really exciting and enlightening conversation where we can, breathe in amazing things into the world and basically enlighten where we can, inspire where we can, and start a conversation. Certainly a better conversation, I love to say, because the people that I bring to the table are definitely unique in that they've inspired me and I get to share them with the world. That's basically my gist behind the show. So tonight we are at the beginning of August and it's the month of celebration of friendships. And I can't think of a better time to have these beautiful women joining me because, as we all know, life is about transformation, living your dreams, spiritual transformation, finding true happiness, and my favorite, discovering bliss. And the better that we have with others that we actually collaborate with and support each other, then there's more bliss to be had in this world. So I am excited to say that on this month of August, not only does it mark Dr. Tiffany Taft's birthday and the collaborator of Thrive Girl Thrive's birthday, Dr. Marcy Rosh, it also is, like I said, nearly a full anniversary year celebration of the collaboration book called Thrive Girl Thrive. And we're excited to be here to celebrate that and to talk about how our year's been, because I haven't seen these beautiful women since the launch a year ago. So we have a lot to talk about. We're going to get to that, but I want everyone to remember that, in this beautiful time of August and celebration of friendships, that bliss is an actual attainable state of being. And I want us to really contemplate on the fact of manifesting that wherever you find yourself, wherever you are, you're just steps away of the life you so desire. And perhaps maybe tonight, someone here can speak something that's going to inspire you moving forward on that path to bliss. So are we ready to wake up and get inspired? I have Makeeta and Tiffany here. And before we begin, I'd like to set intentions because I think it's really important that we get intentional about everything that we do. And I like to have, those intentions set out at the outset where you pick a magical number. And at the end of the interview, we'll ask you what that number was, what your intention was, and then we'll read the insight that corresponds to that intention. So go ahead and do that. And I'm going to introduce you beautiful ladies. So Makeeta Samone House. Loving Yourself with Self-Love is the name of her chapter. So if anyone is in Thrive Girl Thrive, I want to show you the book. This is it. This is the chapter. This is the book. This is her chapter, Loving Yourself with Self-Love. She's recognized for hosting her radio show called Stepping into Wholeness Weekly on FM radio Mondays and Thursdays. She also has contributed to the insurance industry, and is a master life coach. She has over 19 years of experience in workforce management at Farmer Insurance, has earned her BA in Human Relations and Management from Mid-America Nazarene Christian University, and she has several certifications as a master life coach based in Christianity and business coaching. She's the operating owner of Abilities Influence Measure, LLC, whose mission is to provide life coaching and motivational speaking to both individuals and groups. She helps clients and groups jumpstart their business and their lifestyle through coaching programs. And she wants to be, or she is, the female version of Dr. Oz. So who knows, in the future, we've got a lot of female versions of these health-conscious women who are ready to speak, empowerment to other people to live the life of their dreams by taking care of themselves. And then we have Dr. Tiffany Taft. She wrote More Than a Womb. That's her chapter in Thrive Girl Thrive. She deals with chronic pain and rehabilitation concerns and other Williams health continuum. So no matter the focus, Dr. Taft is ready to serve. And I think that's beautiful that the tying bond is a really generosity of service. And I think that's beautiful that we all find ourselves in this kind of setting where we want to serve others in that way. She's the founder of Wishful Wellness, LLC, an integrative health and wellness center located in Montgomery, Alabama. So we're all over today. I'm in Miami. Are you in Montgomery now, correct? You're in Alabama now?
I am. Mm-hmm.
Makeeta, where are you? Makeeta, where are you located? Where are you now?
Oh, I am in Kansas City, originally from Los Angeles, California, and I'm been living here for quite some time now, and I enjoy every city I'm in. That's part of me being a life coach. So I
Well, there
figured
you
it out.
go. So we have
I figured it out.
Alabama, we have Kansas City, right? And we have
Mhm.
Miami. So this is really going to be an exciting all over the country kind of experience tonight. I want to like put a shine a light on this wonderful woman, Dr. Taft, who's focused on evidence-based education, research, and services that support natural holistic healing as well for those who seek to live well at every phase of womanhood. Dr. Taft helps to create a sacred space in which her clients are able to reach their optimal health while learning and incorporating new and healthier rituals along the way. She's a woman of service to others, to other women specifically, and has begun to pivot her wellness practice to concentrate more as a holistic fertility doula focused in the areas of birth and fertility from preconception to conception and beyond. She's a medical support professional to any professional medical team, and she's the perfect rhythm. I love this between ancient wisdom and modern science. So she too, has a show on the Wellness Lounge, which currently airs on the CW network and features topics that educate, encourage, and support healthy living and addressing topics of the day. So we're going to make sure all of you guys have those links after the show so you can find these beautiful women and that you can see what actually they have to offer the world in their own setting, in their own place. But I'm so blessed to have you guys in my space today in this manifesting world.
Thank you.
I don't hear you, Makeeta, very well. What did you say?
Maybe you might have stepped away from your speaker a little bit because I was hearing you really clear, and now it's a little bit further away.
Okay, so can you hear me as well, Dr. Tiffany?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
I hear Dr. Tiffany really good. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So the last time we were together, we were celebrating the book launch in DC with our whole gang, and I'm going to help show everybody in the stream what we looked like on that book cover. For sure, it was a wonderful time, celebrating that time we got to know each other super well. And also, we got the chance to, celebrate because it had been, a very interesting, up until that point, we were, just knew each other by virtual like we're doing right now. And, I want both of you to have the opportunity tonight to tell the audience a little bit about your chapter and your experience this past year. So why don't you go first, Makeeta, if you can hear me, go first and tell us all about your chapter.
Yes, of course. I enjoy the life of 5-year-old. All of my friends, sister friends, I call them girlfriends, sister friends. It was quite amazing from the expo, from meeting all of the doctors, all interested in wellness, wholeness, holistics, from coming to a radio show to speak, or just online, being nationally heard, to be on a national platform with Dr. Marcy, who went to Harvard University. I didn't take any of that lightly. Everything was superb to me. I enjoyed everyone having the correct credentials to speak, everyone coming together with heartfelt stories. Everyone had some type of tragedy or loss of a job or something, but still had a heart for their purpose. So that triumph was ecstatic for me. It was overwhelmingly a blessing for me, and I really enjoyed it. My book chapter is on self-love, and I just really enjoyed it. Meg, I don't know if you want me to speak about it right now, or do you want me to wait?
Well, why don't you? I'm having a little bit of a problem hearing you. I don't know. Your connection seems a little off. I don't know whether or not it's the phone or not, but I just want to make sure that we can hear you when you do talk about your wonderful chapter, because who doesn't need to hear about loving yourself with self-love? My God, I think we're all at that point in our lives right now that
yes,
we need to focus
definitely
that on us. Yes. Yes, I can hear you much better.
I'll speak up because my voice projects anyway, so I'll just speak. But self-love to me has grown, and it does grow on you as you just go through different seasons, different chapters of your life, and around different people. So at the beginning, this year, learning that you have to quarantine.
Okay. Tiffany, why don't you start because she's frozen again. So we told each other we'll be flexible tonight.
And just know to love yourself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you kind of froze up on us. So we were like, oh my goodness, that we lost.
Okay. So self-love is so important to me. It grows on me. Just the whole thing grows on me the more and more as seasons and chapters change. So my initial just for self-love, I did come from a family of 6 brothers and sisters. We were all separated, and I had to find my own personal self-love personally for myself. Uh, Without having, I'm married, I have a husband, but I had to find it for me. And I also did ministry. I worked for, a catastrophe storm center. So I'm helping people, survive and different things like that. But still trying to get back to me. It was pretty much on, but then it was off. So I went on like a shopping spree. I would buy a lot of clothes, but then that quiet time, I didn't have a lot of quiet time. So I had to build that quiet time in. And shout out to all the ladies that like to shop a little bit. We pick that up and say, oh, that's self-love. Let's buy the next, paparazzi thing, or let's buy the next, in gadget or things like that. But self-love grows deeper as you understand that you have to begin to have that quiet time. You have to have meditation. And I learned throughout the years, because I used to be very, Dr. Marcy spoke about critical. Sometimes you can be critical on yourself. I learned you can meditate, but just find your own time within 24 hours. So there's not a wrong time to meditate. Find how your brain works, how it clicks, how it works for you. They say, of course, it's early in the morning, but if you are going to get a headache trying to make it work, and you have 5 kids, 3 kids, 2 kids, things like that, then that's where self-love comes in and say, you know what, I am not going to quit. Because most people quit because of the fact that they can't get in the time to love themselves. So don't quit at all. Just make adjustments. So as you make adjustments, you'll begin to understand that you can work around different things and then get support. And when I want to speak about self-love support. So self-love support is good, but what you want to do is write it down. Because sometimes as women all across the world, when we speak too fast. And people can't catch what we're saying. They can't understand what we're seeing. We have brilliant brains, minds. We've been through a lot of things, but we're not able to comprehend to other doctors or counselors and things like that. So I suggest self-love, even if you're going to go get the support clinically, write it down before you go, because usually you only have 15 minutes, you only have 30 minutes, and you're like, what happened? I can't suggest that person to another person, but 2020 girls, we want to thrive. So thriving is being intentional, to write things down and say, I love myself enough to take that extra step to be able to get things right. And then also love yourself to, guard your heart, because when you're working with geniuses, they'll be like, wait a minute, I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you? But just love yourself, because they mean well. They really do mean well. And I just want to impact people to join other doctors, wellness coaches, other holistic counselors, because they want to do their job. But the time of 15, 30 minutes is short, and you can't get it all in.
Well, interestingly enough, I think the whole component with regards to self-love, for women kind of goes into, it plays a very much a beautiful, seamless path when you talk about the more than the womb with Dr. Tiffany's chapter as well, because, a lot of women, they have children and then they stop, putting themselves or their self-care important. But I know, in Dr. Tiffany's chapter, with More Than a Womb, it was really it's a beautiful collaboration with the different chapters, because and maybe you can speak to that as well, Tiffany. So, people can see what it is that you were speaking to with regard to the book as well.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much, Meg, for having me on. And I love the concept of manifesting. So this is actually my first time manifesting with you.
Yes.
But I it perfect to do it now. I just turned 50, and so I'm looking at the second. What is it that I want to manifest the second half of my life? So, thank you. So the name of my chapter in the book was called More Than a Womb. And when Dr. Marcy was doing like the screening for the women that she wanted to participate in the book, and we were just doing some brainstorming, and it just came out of nowhere. I said, it's more than a womb. All of the things that I mentioned up until I said those words, it's more than a womb. And so really the chapter talks about a little bit, I'll say, about my journey towards having two children, losing both children, issues around not fertility specifically, but having fibroids and other women's health issues that prevented me from fully having a full healthy womb. And so all of what that meant to me in my journey and how I looked at healing. And a part of that, to go along with Makeeta, was looking at self-care and why is that important. And I like to call, self-care for me, I actually call inner fitness. And so, we're so often focused on what we look like on the outside. Women will go get our hair done, our nails done, we have a pretty face on, and underneath all this pretty is a hot mess on the inside. And so that manifests into some dis-ease within the body. And so, what foods are we eating? What negative or non-healthy relationships are we in? What other things that we consume in this body that becomes toxic physically and emotionally to this body? And so I speak about that in my chapter, not only my personal journey, but things that I've seen and heard in conversation with clients, specifically female clients. It doesn't mean that men don't have also their own womb issues. They have wounds, but not in the way that we women have wounds, where it's literally a portal to birth children. But I like to take that a step further and say, for those women that find that they are infertile for whatever reason, or maybe have had children and now can't have children for whatever reason, or maybe they've passed the childbearing age and so they're on the other side of womanhood. It doesn't make you any less of a woman because you're no longer able to actually have a child. You can birth promise, you can birth dream, you can birth manifest whatever you want out of this space, that womb space, because the body innately still knows that space holds all types of emotion. And so if we are not whole as a person, we can have, anger, frustration, negativity, but and also in that very same space have love and compassion and honesty and joy, and all the good emotions can come out of that space too. So for me, it was going through the physical things that manifested in my body and getting to a place where I had to make a medical decision about my womb health and how could I do that holistically. In retrospect, I didn't give myself all of the opportunity, even though my journey was 7 years long. I didn't do my holistic due diligence like I do for my clients now. And so that's only one thing that I regret in that space for me personally, but that wasn't supposed to be my journey. So what I can say is I gained my life back.
That's awesome.
I am full and healthy and whole in that space and overall. And so this is why, one of the reasons why I wrote and I titled that More Than a Womb, because your life doesn't stop just because you're not able to have a baby. Many women conceive, but the baby never is actually birthed. And so same thing with your dreams and aspirations. You can have that and never do anything with it. And then what do we have?
Yeah, I wanna build off of that, and I want to show in the stream our beautiful group of women together. Hopefully, we're all in there. I think that we are. I have to say, the theme of today. So what I do is I correspond the theme of the day with my book, and today is build another kind of team. And the quote we have today is one of my favorite authors, that I get to call a good friend, by the way, Pam Grout. She says, today, get out and celebrate. Time to remember how lucky you are. Time to give praise for the highest of the holies. And really, I think that one of the things that I'm so happy to do with you ladies as well is to celebrate that beautiful team that we created, and then all of us went our separate ways into our own paths that were so different, maybe the same, more. I mean, we all have a very holistic bent with the need to help people heal the wound. And I go on to say it set out to build the kind of team whose success is determined by how well you take care of one another. The celebration has already begun. Then your squad by your side, be sure to give praise to the highest of holies and thanks for it all. And I really choose this team was a very beautiful, positive team to walk with on this journey. And even though we don't see each other, we certainly keep that sentiment still going, regardless of whether or not we're here far. Look, we're all in different parts of the country. I think that's great. I want you both to speak to that in regard to your experience this past year with, coming together in that celebration. Now we get to celebrate your accomplishments and how maybe apart from the chapter, not so much, what have you received? And I'd like to start with you, Dr. Tiffany, to tell me what exactly, have you received from this whole experience saying yes to that beautiful collaboration with this beautiful team?
Yeah, so I think, my yes was an immediate yes when I heard Dr. Marcy. I think we had a common theme, a common goal, and that was to have a different conversation and offer women some different possibilities from this book. The thing that I love that each of the authors literally came from not only just different places in the country, but different experiences. And so that that was shown in the book through our chapters. And it literally, I believe, touched in every particular area that a woman may, go through, no matter the phase of her life. And for me, being able to bond with these women, I can honestly say I have not spoken to a lot of the women from the group since maybe the end of last year around the holidays. But I can honestly say I did develop some true, honest friendships that I cherish till this day. And we did have 2 pregnant moms.
Yeah, that's right. We did.
At the time, which was extra special for me. And I, of course, keep in contact with them and Dr. Marcy and a few others in the group. But it was definitely an experience of working with like-minded women coming together for a common goal, but also having that diversity, which I love.
And how about you, Makeeta? What is it that you took away, and how has that impacted your journey this past year and all the wonderful places that you've been, all the wonderful things that you've done?
The book and you guys partnering definitely has manifested partnering and collaborations. So I definitely enjoyed working with doctors, working with professionals, learning their skills, learning their heartache, their pain. um, it just brings to fruition, like the chapter you sent me, what we are wanting to do. That yes, there are people in positions, but there's also people ready to support and help those individuals who are out there that are weary and tired, and they want that support uh, for a fraction of the price and different things like that. So I learned quite a bit from Thrive Girl. I seen everybody put their heart on their shoulder. I seen everyone want to help people to be healed. I see healing go forth. I see people want people to live and be alive. That is right there, because in a society where sometimes people become numb and actually don't know the numbers of how many people are living and dying daily. I see still lights in the world, butterflies, as you say, that want to actually manifest and see growth in human beings. And even as Tiffany works on with pregnant women, it's just amazing that someone would want to take out that time, an extra little step to see someone get through something a little bit better. And that means the world to people. And sometimes they don't even know and acknowledge that resources out there. And that's what this book did for me.
That's
It
awesome.
made me understand that there's a lot more people like me and other women who want to see people to be restored, let their lives be restored, move into something different. Even if you came from, helping people with FEMA and Red Cross, now moving into wellness and different things like that, it still works. So if you're out there and you never did wellness, I encourage you to step into step into your new beginning and your new thing.
I
And
have a que-
thank you, women, for allowing me to step into thriving.
That's awesome. I want to point out that the tie that binds all of us was Marcy, but the relationships that came from this really kind of a leadership spirit. And I found this, and we're all leaders in our own right, in our own path. But it's funny because we all benefit from very different things as far as what it is that we're leading others to see. So at the same time, I would love to ask you guys at this point, what is it that, you have done as far as the perspective as a leader in your own communities? How have you expanded on that sentiment and been empowered from what this experience was to go out and just, shine in that way? Because, we all, really stand together, but then we get back into the whole realm of others to bring them along too. So it's kind of like an invitation to others. Maybe you can take that first, Makeeta.
Well, there's a couple of things. I definitely have donated some books. So actually, not just charging people, but I've donated some books to a family that had a funeral unexpectedly. They had about 6 to 7 passings, and I donated, books to the women. I also had my own setup where I did comfort food for Kansas City, and that was a great launch. Right now, we can't do it, of course, because of the pandemic, so it kind
Yeah.
of went on pause. But I really enjoyed that because I ended up seeing something similar on Shark Tank.
Oh, you did.
I'm in the right lane, but but now I see that they're doing it for as box food and selling it rather than people coming in and actually taste the food and everything. But yeah, definitely. I knew people still need to know how to thrive, and it's still a passion for me to grow in. We're in a pandemic, and we're still learning how to thrive in the pandemic. And just taking one step, just getting the support you need, that to me means the world to me right now, because
Yeah.
it's like getting people out of the mud and rain and water and out of the place that the hopelessness, and out of, if you can get someone out of the hopelessness and get them to just have hope, that's thriving, because now they have to transform their lives. But I'm glad that they're out of hopelessness. So to me, it's
That's
just those
amazing.
steps of, I love the fact that I get to use the word thrive a lot more.
It's an empowering word in itself.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't use it as much, but when you have a book called Thrive Girl, you use it a lot, and it even inspires you, like, okay, no, I need to thrive today.
Yes.
So
Well, let me
yeah.
ask you. So I love the fact that you are talking about the concept of hope, because a lot of people are so deflated by the lack thereof, that the fact that you're bringing that shining light on that particular, sentiment and what you were doing beforehand is amazing. I think, let me turn to you, Dr. Tiffany. What exactly have you also, like with the same sentiment, with leadership, kind of like that passing the baton, and all of us go out to the world and, do our thing. What have you been like, have you noticed this last year for you?
Yeah, so for me, I've had a few book signings where I've sold books, but I've also donated books as well. And I've done a lot more speaking for, I'll say, girls and women of all ages,
Awesome.
and incorporated my yoga practices and just inspirational speaking, especially for young girls. What I'm noticing is it really doesn't matter the age of the girl, or the woman for that matter, because we have older women that hadn't healed their young girl wounds, and we have young girls that, some that are forced to take on the adult woman role sooner than they really need to. And so just being able to create that space for the girls and for the women to have conversation in a safe space and start to think about things in a different way, is how I've been giving back to community when, I've spoken about the book. And also, just creating, helping to create, I should say, opportunities for women to open up, for other programs maybe to be set up, and more specifically in the mother baby space, I've, starting to connect and collaborate with like-minded women that are in the birth space here. I'm new, I should say, I grew up in Alabama, but I just moved back right after, or right before our Thrive Girl launched last year. And so it's been a year really of me kind of reconnecting with friends and getting to know new people, especially in the birthing space here. And so that's kind of where my focus has been, and how can I utilize my practice, Sacred Soul, to expand space and opportunity. And so my show is also next level of my connection with community.
So, I love this. Both of you obviously are giving back to your communities, and certainly doing it from a place of strength. Certainly after, you write a chapter or you write anything, you have to, really sit. First of all, you have to sit with yourself, and you have to really flesh out what it is that your story is. And I think that once you get a good idea as to the story, then you can see all these crazy, wonderful things unfold from that place. And just by virtue of getting that clarity around what it is that you want to say, what is your voice, how do you speak your truth? So this is I want to, since you both are here and you really are excited about manifesting, I don't even want to wait any longer. And I want to, the conversations with extraordinary people like yourself can be catalysts for others, to be leaders for others who are listening, to understand more about how to feel alive daily, which is what we want people to do, is come alive to this world, right? So as I bring this out again, I want to make sure that we definitely are manifesting. So it's time to manifest. So ladies, I'm going to ask you.
I love it.
Starting with you. Let's go with you, Makeeta, since you're ready to go. What is important to you now? What is the most important thing for you in your life now to manifest?
Definitely, I call it little tweaks, because as far as in just partners and collaborations is great, but just little tweaks, because there's so much technology. So I want to manifest the tweaks of just the technology part, where everything is live streamed, everything just floating very extremely smoothly. I am definitely a person of resources, research, just basic information in general. That's just how I am. But you also need the tech people to get you cleaned and to your next level that you want to get. So I definitely want that piece manifested as well. I definitely, like we had on there, creating a great team. I have a team available, but I want a stronger team, because your team helps you to relieve the stress. And that's a part of self-love. So if you have a team that is not fully 100% available, not because they're not on board, they love you and everything, but they're not available, then you just need a stronger team that is able to help you get you to help the people that you're trying to reach.
I love that.
I would really want to manifest even a stronger team. Also, programs that fit for crisis and different things like that, to get prepared for 2021, and to be available for the educators. I know we have a lot of people that we want to work with. Last year we would love to work with them, but this year they might not be on the list that people want to work with. So, but we have to still work with them, right? So basically, just being prepared to that next level of seeing something that you've never been. I spoke to a doctor and she said, I've never seen anything like this in history before. And so
Yeah.
basically, to really recognize that this is something new, this is something life changing, and we want to manifest that we're ready for it, that we were created for it, we were born for this. I am
Yes.
speaking station right now, honey. So
I love it. Yeah, I want to say I'm going to partner with regards to the fact that you're talking about, building, your team and what that looks like for you, and that taking this moment in time really where a lot of people are challenged instead of, collapsing under the challenge, you are engaging, looking for those people who will be available and show up for you. And I think that's wonderful. How about you, Dr. Tiffany? What is it that you feel is most important for you now to manifest in this world?
Well, so a few things, both personally and professionally, but all of them are wrapped in really divine alignment. And what does that look like for me and my giftings? So divine alignment around peace, around balance, around romantic love, around relationships, and relationships that really are meaningful and non-toxic.
Yeah, that's really good
yeah.
too. You guys kind of married, like, it's kind of the same idea, where she's looking for a team also available, but the same thing is, but we want the available team not to be poisoned at the same time. So it's like they want to balance those both concepts. And what I think a lot of people are looking for tools, right? They're looking for things that they can do to bring in that, so we can say to the world, this is what I want. But what are the tools that you are looking for that help you kind of pay attention and engage in a certain way that it's more likely than not that this will in fact manifest into your life? And maybe you want to take that, Makeeta, first. Go ahead.
Right now, I would definitely say if we're talking about just wholeness, health, and wellness, there's a lot of information out there for spiritual, and then there's physical. So then you have to research both of them and get both of them available, because some things are actual physical wholeness, some things are actual spiritual wholeness, and basically having the right apps, the new apps that are out there available is extremely important to basically balance your whole team out, your whole community, your whole.
So let me just clarify with regard to what you're saying is that you're looking for, there's certain apps that are really going to be helpful for people. Maybe after we can put in the feed what apps you might recommend, or maybe you can say it out loud so we can, those that are listening can, take notes as to those that have really worked for you, that you've used in the past, and that really helped catapult you to manifest the life of your dreams.
Right. And I definitely can text that into the chat afterwards. Yes.
Well, do you I don't know if you know one off the top of your head. So because this is like both, visual as well as your auditory. So
I have literally for coaching, I have for 3 years, I have so much in my email that I just literally click on the topic and this research thing. But I am like a fanatic of no, seriously. Like I have so much stuff funneling in. I just type it in, so I don't remember it by heart.
So what we'll do is, everyone who wants to find these wonderful apps that Makeeta has, we'll have them contact you, because she has tons.
Yeah, and she's definitely. I would love to. I literally do it. I mean, I love that kind of stuff.
Awesome. And how about you, Dr. Tiffany? What are those things that help you? What tools do you use to help you manifest? Like, I know you're speaking to yoga and meditation, which is amazing, by the way. But as in addition to those, maybe there's something else that I could benefit from, because I'll take it. Let me tell you.
So I think I'm not going to say anything groundbreaking. I think, it's people making or recommitting, right, to themselves. And so things I normally recommend is journaling, of course, the yoga or meditation. With COVID, you know, a lot of people were stuck early on in COVID, stuck in the house. You know, families that were out and about normally doing things were forced to kind of come together and get to re-know the family as a unit. And so that brought about a lot of angst for some, but was also a welcome for many others to get to know the family. So I think journaling is a way to get those thoughts down and out of your head. It also makes them more real when you write them down. And then time timelines around those things that you're putting down. Sometimes you're getting the random thoughts out of your head, but other times those are great ideas that you're putting down, and so they could potentially turn into something greater. Yoga and meditation gives you the space to not only be still, but also to move and not be stagnant in life as well. Finding books that you really enjoy reading that's not necessarily around, you know, something academic, but something more for fun, but that provides a mechanism for you to continue to learn and grow in different ways. You don't want your life to always be so structured. Have some fun. Find some joy, whether that's, you know, your favorite movie, spending time with the family, friends, of course, socially distant now, and doing, you know, just to find something that brings you joy, that is, it doesn't feel like work, because it's been so much time and structure that we get worn down and we don't have.
So let me ask you. So like I asked Makeeta, can you recommend a book or a movie or something that has like lifts you up when you're feeling low, or perhaps gives you that extra boost?
Well, so not in particular. So if I need extra boost and I just really want to laugh, I watch. If I watch TV, I watch the old stuff. So like Good Times, Sanford and Son.
Oh yeah.
I was watching Mama's Family last night. That stuff is still, but it's old. And you know, it for me, it's mindless stuff, because I don't feel like, I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but when I do, I watch those, I don't feel like I've missed anything. But because it's comical, I can also laugh, and laughing is good for us, especially me. It's the way I can decompress at the end of my day. Books, that's relative to the person. I like a lot of different types of books. So it really kind of depends on my mood. If I can read a book for pleasure over academics, and I love school, I would read the book for pleasure.
Well, certainly we would all recommend Thrive Girl Thrive.
Now,
And you know,
I do have a suggestion for books and TV. Now, apps I would have to look up, but books and TV, I do suggest HGTV, which is basically, you know, the main thing that women deal with, which is their home. And then I do suggest the Food Network as well, Spiritual Ground, depending on where they are or where they want to be. Of course, the Word Network, TVN. There's a Wholeness book out by Sarah Jake's husband, called Torrey Roberts, which is called Wholeness as well. It's new. And those are just a few books. That's one book and a couple of shows that you get some healthy eating, and then also work on your house as well. And those now, if you have regular cable TV, they also have where you can record certain times for yoga classes and different things and exercise, but it depends on your network. So, but I also suggest exercising, and I love the fact that you can actually buy a $10 15-30 minute exercise, also YouTube exercises as well. And I know Dr. Tiffany yoga. As well. I don't do yoga, but that might be like down the line or something like that. But basically, stretching as well is on YouTube as well. And when we're saying this, we're saying it lightly, but it's very important. So, yeah.
Well, I certainly, I mean, I'm going to spin off of the stretching component, you know, like stretching your body, stretching your mind, stretching everything at this point, you know, and certainly I think when people feel, you know, stuck, that, you know, that's most important, that they do start feeling, you know, stretching those things that they can do, you know, so at the same time, they're feeling a little bit more empowered. And And, this is something that Dr. Tiffany showed me, and I wanted to share this with all of you guys as well, because I love the quote. And it's a theme, I think, because last time I had my show, one of the authors actually used it for, I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plan to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that's quite beautiful because it spins off of your hope, Makeeta, and then your plans for the future, as far as what Dr. Tiffany said. So let's go back to the beginning when we started, and I asked you guys to set your intention for the interview and then pick a number. And then perhaps we can start with you, Dr. Tiffany, since Makeeta went last. Tell me what your intention was for this conversation tonight, because I think really it's important when you the power of intention really can make or break something when you really set your mind with clarity and focus to come to the table. And I always say my intention is always to enjoy the conversation and learn something and have fun. I enjoyed talking to people, very interesting, extraordinary people like the two of you. Certainly is a great night for me. So why don't you tell us what your intention was, and then read the insight that you chose in the book and the page number.
Okay. So I think the intention for the conversation was really at the core of me to educate not only women, but anyone that's watching the live that it's never too late if you have an idea to move forward with the idea. Always give it your best. Be kind and patient with yourself. And then know that there's someone waiting for you to show up. Every one of us is born with a gift. We may not all know what that gift is right now, but continue to search and notice the things that you do most often. And that's probably what your gifting is. Some is waiting. Your tribe, not just one person, but your tribe is waiting for you to show up. So be sure to do that. So for me, I wanted, again, to manifest the balance, the miracles around personal life and career, and limitless finances, not have to worry about the money, not have to worry about the relationship, but meaningful connections and connections too with every part of my life. And so for me, I chose the number 2, but I did page 222.
Yeah.
So that came up with free your mind to believe in possibility.
There you go.
I'll try to read it. It's super small here, but hopefully it says, why we must punish ourselves in sabotaging thoughts. What will it take for us to free ourselves for our own self-imposed mental slavery? Can we use our imagination to free our minds and connect with the love in our hearts to liberate our lives? Why not take a chance and try it? Stand up straight and imagine releasing the weight of the world off your shoulders. Lighter and give love. Open your eyes and see the many doors just waiting to be opened to offer us a different path on the journey. Look around and see other individuals as co-creators with you. Feel lifted and receive love. The mind aligned with optimism is a powerful tool. A heart filled with love is even more commanding. Oh my God, this is so powerful. When the mind is coupled with the heart, hold on. When the mind is coupled with the heart, this combination is something to behold. Obstacles fade away, negativity subsides, and possibilities spring anew. We can make the choice to free our minds, to believe in the potential that we know in our hearts. The door is right in front of us, but that door can only be shown to us. It is ultimately our decision whether to walk through it. So, what is it going to be? It is if we free our minds to believe in the possibility of wonderful things to come, the rest will follow. This is a gentle salvation when we allow our minds to be free from the chains that bind as we connect to the love that awaits us.
That's beautiful.
The magical key to bliss. Free your mind to possibility.
It's so funny when you were reading that, I always received the gift from from YouTube. That's kind of like what comes at me, because you were speaking to when the mind takes you first, the body will follow, right? And that's so powerful, because that's everything that you're talking about tonight, especially when you're saying about the womb. It's the body follows, and it's so beautiful, and it's so funny. There's a song that was inspired by. I forgot who wrote it, but it was "Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow," right?
Yeah.
And then be colorblind, don't be so shallow. It's like God, there's so much out there that is, for I know the plans I have for you, and the collaboration, how we are building a better team in this world, by opening your mind to those possibilities. I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It totally falls.
That was right on time for me. So
wow.
I don't.
Well, it was your intention. I say it was your intention. You're the one who brought it. You called it forward. And now for you, Makeeta, can you share with us your intention? Because honestly, I'm going to tell you all that Makeeta is the inspiration behind this conversation tonight. She put it in the feed of our Thrive Girl Thrive conversation, and she wanted to, keep the motion going, keep the movement moving forward. So I want to commend you, Makeeta, for doing that and offering the invitation. So I could say yes to this, and this has been a beautiful experience for me, because like I said, thank you for your gifts as well as yours, Makeeta, as well, Tiffany and Makeeta. So go ahead, tell us your intention for tonight, or for perhaps, why you wanted to have this conversation.
Thank you, Meg. First, I want to say thank you for saying yes, because this is you can just feel the calmness, you can feel the unity, you can feel the passion and the purpose that this was meant to be. And I thank you, Meg, for taking this on, because you could have said no, but I enjoyed every single slide. I enjoyed even the message. I know the plans for you to prosper. I enjoy all of that. I can see that we are building to something even greater. And my intentions for this, my number was 7. I picked 77. I can't read as I'm actually speaking, but I don't know, Meg, if you
So
want to
I'll
read
go
it.
ahead and I'll read it for you, just because I want to make sure. So
Okay.
to build on this collaboration with what your invitation was, to keep the conversation going. And it only takes one person to keep the momentum moving. And you just have to be willing to ask and believe and receive. And I think that is something I live by. And that's the whole gist of manifesting, essentially, is the ask, the big ask, and then getting ready after you start to believe in that ask to start to receive. So page 77, which follows your intention, is be open to wisdom from unlikely sources. And the quote is, I'm concentrating on staying healthy, having peace, being happy, remembering what is important, taking in nature and animals, spending time reading and trying to understand the universe, where science and spiritual meet. How beautiful that is. And it follows, it's a Joan Jett quote, the American rock guitarist. She was incredibly spiritual as well. And the insight is this: today is a great day to make amazing statements of resolution, setting out positive affirmations toward the goal of living an exceptional life. If you map out a successful start, you're ready to welcome inspiration from a variety of sources. Wisdom arrives in many shapes or forms. When you open your mind to life's daily invitations, even the unlikeliest people or places can offer you life-changing advice that could be the catalyst to great things. Blessings come as you set the intention to live from a place of awareness. Relationships blossom and flourish when you focus on ways to be healthier, more peaceful, and happier in both mind and body. Completely what we're talking about tonight. Perspective change when you step out of the comfortable box you settled in, getting the benefits of looking at the universe from both a scientific and a spiritual context. Resolve to see a bit of inspiration from a little bit of information received, and do your best to not reject the message because of the messenger. Go out into the world with worthy goals and open your mind and heart to all the angels that will help you achieve them along the way. The key to bliss, follow your bliss and rock on while welcoming in what you need to hear, blessed from all sources. So that is amazing. And I'm certainly...
It definitely is. Wow. Oh my God. It's so much in there that we talked tonight about. It's like meant seriously. Literally.
You know,
My
I personally believe like she was talking about divinity, right? The whole idea, the synchronistic power that weaves in and out of our life if we're aware and paying attention. And certainly, you know, always getting curious as to who shows up in the room and why you're there. And you said yes. So who's showing up in the room and what kind of conversation ensues from that? Because it's quite magical if you allow it to be, and the manifesting from that point on certainly is very powerful. So I do want to make sure that I do highlight the both of you as far as your gifts and your, so this is Dr. Tiffany, and I want to make sure that everyone sees, this is her everyday wellness. It's her email is at info@sacredsoulwellness.org. That is her wellness lounge. So Dr. Tiffany, let me know, is there anything more than you want the audience to know about with regard to your gifts and to what you have to offer?
So I'll just rattle off a few. I mean, it really is, all the services are customized based on what the client needs. And I do see male clients as well, but I am pivoting more to just be to focus on the women and babies. But I offer massage therapy, foot reflexology, yoga. All of this can be one-on-one or group sessions.
Okay.
Couples yoga or couples massage for the couples that want to. It's more of a couples instructional, so it creates a deeper, more meaningful connection with the couple through touch, non-sexual touch. And then I also do holistic health coaching and holistic fertility coaching for uh, uh, health coaching for all, but holistic fertility coaching for women specifically, but also for their in conjunction with their partners that are looking to start their families.
Thank you so much. And like we said before, we'll include in the feed afterwards the information so people can get in contact with you. And here I have a picture of Makeeta I found about her breathe, and anything else that you want to share with the audience as far as the gifts and resources that you have to offer.
Yes, I am a Breathe ambassador. I'm also a coach on the radio, and I do want to share that I am extremely, uh, I really take coaching very intentional. It's very important to me to help people, and I just want to shout out to all the coaches. But personally, I definitely like to do the work with each individual, give them assignments, homework, and you don't get to see that part of coaches or like Tiffany. And I just want to share that with everyone because what happens is that you hear coach, but you don't get to see the actual love and the transformation that they want to bring out of the individual, and definitely calmness, wholeness, health, and wellness, awareness, preventatives, and alternatives is the key to my brand, which is wholeness. And wishful came from definitely not a place of not completing, but definitely from a place of chronic disease, chronic issues, things that people think that they could never get over because of childhood, things like that, and to allow them to understand that you don't have to be stuck in your ways. That is a part of being wishful. So that's where wishful wellness came about because it was we have did generation to generation, and we've seen things as they are, and wishful wellness is about bringing forth and blossoming into a new transformation in your life and strategizing with you on your personal level, but actually building the strengths that I get to see in you. So, yes.
That's awesome. You know, I definitely want for us to incorporate your information in the feed so people have a way to contact all of you. You know, all of us really want to manifest our dreams and live a life here on purpose. And certainly, I'm going to put this out here as well. Tomorrow night, I am doing a webinar on aligning your passion with your purpose. So I want to invite all of you to join me as well tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. It's on a Zoom feed. So if you want to register, let me know. But I want to leave this interview or this beautiful conversation with these opportunity for both of you to, share a final inspirational word with everyone. And, I think that we all need as much inspiration that we can possibly get at this point in time. And I think that, I love this, what Dr. Tiffany said, be quiet the mind and the soul will speak. So before we go tonight, I definitely want both of you to leave us with a final bit of inspiration that we can take with us into this month and to this week and to this year, the rest of the year. So why don't you start, Dr. Tiffany? Go ahead and tell us your final bit of inspiration.
Yeah, so very simply, never stop believing, never stop trying. Always work towards your goal. Someone is waiting for you to show up with your, and definitely quiet the mind. So get still. We're still very much in a pandemic, whether you believe it or not, but we are, and people are losing their lives. So use this downtime. And I know kids have started to go back to school. Use the downtime to really figure out what your giftings are and what your next steps are going to be. 2020 was supposed to be about transformation and perfect vision. And so,
there you go.
Is, but it looks a little different. And so it's the time to get quiet, not be so vocal about the stuff. Work, be like the little hamster in the background, doing all the work, getting it done underneath, and then reemerge as your new self with your new gifting for the people that are waiting for you.
I think that's beautiful. And how about you, Makeeta? What do you have to give us as far as a bit of final inspiration to send everyone off into a world of possibilities tonight?
I love the word reemerge. That was so beautiful. I definitely want to let people know that I personally have went through where you are, you don't know. And I love making sure something that people don't want to speak about, which is manifestation and really miracles and things that you might have as a child and your parents or your upbringing could bring you, to understand what it was. So I want to leave people with confidence. 2020 is the first year of the decade. Time. So definitely don't give up, don't quit. I am making myself available after this for any person who is not in some type of harm, danger, or just suicidal, anything like that. I will be available to support you and try to get you to a resource this week, definitely, because I want to be a support to people. But definitely be intentional to understand that you are building. If everything fell apart and it got burnt down, what do? You get your insurance, you rebuild it. So,
there you go. You can always rebuild it. You can't rebuild your life. That's for sure.
The same thing. If you think highly of your house, highly of your body, and don't quit. That's what I
love it. Don't quit. So I think that's the message tonight is, even in the challenging times that we experience, that don't quit, and there's always a silver lining at the end. And I do want to point out that, Thrive Girl Thrive, I put the book back up there with all of the authors, is how we became, sister friends or, collaborators or, uniquely in each other's lives. And for that moment, that continues to unfold, and certainly building better teams and encouraging others to do the same and keeping an open mind. So I want to thank you both again so much, Dr. Tiffany Taft and Makeeta House, for joining me tonight for this wonderful conversation with extraordinary people, which you are definitely, both of you. I want you all to remember you're here as the deliberate creators of your life. I want you to dream big and let us all together raise the positive vibrations on this planet, and that we all can live out our bliss, enjoy the magic and miracles, shine your beautiful light. And until next time, manifest the most beautiful life you can imagine. And let's love ourselves, like Makeeta says, self-love exactly where we are. Reach out to others and continue to spread the love by truly taking care of ourselves, because that's going to enable us to take care of more people as we go through this life. And time to manifest the life of our dreams. That is certainly what the message is tonight that we all want you all to take away. So thank you. God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Thank you, Tiffany, and thank you, Makeeta, once again. And have a wonderful evening until the next time in August. We'll see you then. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.